Alright, so we are moving on with inequalities. I'm not sure. So we have 2 more days of inequalities, and then next week we go into solving, equations. So we will be, we still have like 2 weeks left of, expressions and equations of unit 6, but we will have a mid, um, quiz next Friday. We are gonna do, today and tomorrow is gonna be open up, so kind of moving back into that mindset for a little bit. So go ahead and with our warm-up, true or false. Says fractions and decimals. Is each equation true or false? Be prepared to explain your reasoning. So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to complete the warm-up. You finished, go ahead and stand up. Alright, go ahead, have a seat. So for the first one, it's 3 times 12 plus 5 equals 3 times 12 times 3 times 5. Stand up if you agree with this. So stand up if you said this is true. Okay? Alright, have a seat. Stand up if you said that this was false. Alright, Gemma, why did you say this was false, babe?
I said it was false because when you do 3 times 12, it equals 36, and 3 times 5 is 15. You will have to, the times 36 by 15, and that equals 540, and when you do 12 plus 5, that's 17 times 3, which is 51, and 51 does not equal 540, so I said it was false.
Okay, definitely true, but there's a much easier way to figure out why this is, without even doing math, why this is false. No, didn't you stand up for it to be true?
Yeah.
Okay, so why is it false?
Because instead of adding them, they put a multiplication sign.
Right, so here you have addition, and here they did multiplication, right? So
Yeah.
that is why it is false. I'm not playing this game with you today.
Wow!
Flashbang. It's in fun. We just got flashbang.
I turned around for 1 second.
Jonathan, will you turn the light on, please? Will you turn the light on, please? Turn the light on into the classroom. Seriously? Yeah, I don't know why you don't want to focus. Just focus. That'd be fantastic. That is not good. I don't know why you're giving me a green box. I understand it's Thursday, but I really need you to work. You guys do have the, numbers on your page, so we're gonna keep going while I'm trying to figure this out. For the next one, it says 1/3 times 3/4 equals 3/4 times 2/6. Do you stand up if you said that this was true? Alright, have a seat. Stand up if you said this was false. Alright, so those of you who said it was false, fine. If you said it was false, why did you say it was false? Like, go ahead and just like explain what you did. So like, what made you say it was false? Troy?
I heard that the 2/6 was double the amount of the 1/3.
Okay, so like, did you solve 1/3 times 3/4?
Yeah,
And you got what?
I got 3/12.
3/12, okay, and then when you do when you do 3/4 times 2/6, what do you get? So when we do 3/4, 3/4 times 2/6, what do you get? Camden? 6/24. Now, can we simplify 6/24 to equal 3/12? Yes, we can. We just simply do what? Divided by 2, and this becomes 3/12. So these two actually equal, even though it looked like it wouldn't have equal. Yes? I can't hear anything you're saying. I still can't hear anything you're saying. So cross multiply? Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that's the only way, I'm just saying that's one way. So as long as you know that this is true, that's all that really matters. There's more than one way to figure this out. Yes, Jonathan? That's literally what he just said. I need you to listen. Alright, the last one. 2 times 1.5 times 12 equals 4 times 7,500 times 6. Stand up if you said this was true. Nobody said this was true? Alright, so why do we say this is not true? Why do we say that this is false? Kevin?
So for the first one, it says 2 times 1.5 in parentheses times 12. And then for the next one, it says 4 times 0.75 in parentheses, which I think would equal the same thing, but I don't think it'll equal the same thing if you multiply it by 6.
Okay, so essentially you are correct. The first part is essentially 2 times 1.5, and then the second part is 4 times 7,500. That will equal the same thing. But 12 and 6 are not the same number, are they? So there's no way that even though the first part was equivalent, the 12 and the 6 are not. So this is false. All right, let's move on down to the basketball game. All right, so this says Noah scored N points in a basketball game. So what does 15 less than N mean in the context of the basketball game? So what would that mean? 15 is less than N in a basketball game. So putting this in like real world context. Ronnie.
That means N is more than 15.
No. Guys, we're putting this into real world situations. So N, like, let me help you out. So this should be Noah scored more than 15 points. Okay? This is no longer variables and in random letters. This is real world situation. Alright, so 2, it says what does N less than 25 mean in the context of the basketball game? So now that you have an example, what do you think? As fast goes, I think we're gonna get, so we're just gonna leave it right there. Wait,
You scored less than 25 points, but bigger than 15 points.
we don't know about the 15 points yet, because just number 2 says N is less than 25, right? So you said Noah what?
He scored less than 25 points.
Okay, so number 3 says draw 2 number lines to represent the solutions to the inequalities. Alright, so here's a number line. Here's a number line. This one is gonna have 15, this one is gonna have 25. When you have your, number lines drawn, please stand up. No, like you have it completed.
Oh.
Yeah, so like, once you have like your open circle, closed circle, your arrows and everything, please stand up. If you wanna use a color today to do your line, or your, whatever this thing is called on the, that thing, that number line, you can. Alright, who would like to help me with the number line that has, that represents 15 is less than n? Alright, Mikhail, going to the right, is that what you said? Okay. And why is it going to the right? Because they scored more than 15 points, even though the, essentially, the point of our inequality is pointing to the left. Why do we know we're going to the right? And if I wanted to check this real quick, someone pull a number from the number line that is greater than 15 and plug it in. Gemma?
17.
So 17, oops, 15 is less than 17, so we know that we are correct. Okay, make sense? Make sure you have that checked on your paper so you don't forget about it. All right, what about 25? What about 25? Someone tell me what my graph is gonna look like there. I need way more hands in this. Like way more. Kyra.
The arrows can go to the left, open circle.
So open circle, and my arrow is going to the left. Why?
Because you're finding that is less than 25.
So we're finding, say that again, I'm sorry.
A number that's less than 25.
Okay, so Kyra, pick a number less than 25 so we can plug it in.
23.
23 is less than 25. Do we agree? True statement, and we're good. All right, slide over to number 4 and number 5. So number 4, number 5. Number 4 says name a possible value for n that is a solution to both inequalities, not just one. And then number 5 says name a possible value for n that is a solution for 15 less than n, but not a solution for n is less than 25. You are doing these two with your group members. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. That should be plenty of time. Go.
Yeah, but so it says any possible value for n that
Well, I mean,
is
which one should it go by?
is small to less than n, but the solution you has to be above 25. Find on number 15. No, not to find it's greater than 15, but it's smaller than 25.
So just number 4 and number 5. Say that when you're done.
26 because you went on. We're greater than 15.
Alright. So, what is a possible value for n that is a solution for both inequalities? I heard your ass talking. Alright, William, what'd you come up with as a group?
17.
17.
Yes.
So 17 works for, if we look over here on our number lines, so 17 works for 15 because that was the one that we used as our example, right? And then it has to be less than 25. So does that work?
Yeah.
All right, so n equals 17. What's another one that we could use? Levi? 20. All right, same rules apply. It's greater than 15 but less than 25. All right, what is a
Oh no.
There's no wrong with this thing. I went on it 3 times.
because I moved
It
it.
doesn't like that.
You're not wrong.
Speaking to the camera.
All right, what was another one? Kashana, what'd you guys come up with? 24. All right, what was another one? Give me one more. Aiden.
23.
Levi, your batteries are in the office. Obviously, you're not gonna go get them right now. I'm in the middle of the lesson. I'm sorry, Aiden, what was it? 23. All right, and then number 5, it says name a possible value for n that is a solution for 15 is less than n, but not a solution for n that is less than 25. Leo,
26.
why does 26 work?
It works because it's greater than 15, but also it doesn't work for 25 because it's also greater than 25.
Perfect. All right, what was another number you guys came up with? Mikhail? 30? What was one more?
1,069,327.
What?
1.6 million.
Yeah.
That's a little bit overboard.
Okay. All right, shh. Can -8 be a solution to n in this context? Explain your reasoning. So this one you're doing on, on your own. So can -8 work in the context of Noah and his basketball score? Alright, so you're writing yes or no, and then you're explaining why you picked yes or why you picked no. Again, I'm giving you like 3 minutes, this should not take that long. Stand up when you're finished. A minute left. All right, have a seat. So stand up if you said yes, -8 could work. All right, I have a question. Have you ever heard of a basketball player having -8 points ever in a game?
But the thing is,
No. We're talking about the number of points scored. Can a basketball player score a negative number?
Well, I mean, if
No.
he misses 8 shots.
It's 0.
But that doesn't count.
It's a 0, right?
Yeah,
Like, we're not getting literal here. We're legit being 100%, like, if you watch a basketball on TV, a basketball game on TV, and a player shot 87 times, and he missed all 87, is he gonna have -87 points, or is he gonna have 0? Alright, so, again, understanding the context in which we're dealing with inequalities and numbers. So this should be no, because why? One of my 4 people that just stood up, why can we not have a -8 as a score? Ronnie?
Because, somebody can't score a -8 points in a game.
Alright, moving on to the next section. Alright, so unbalanced hangers. It says here's a diagram of an unbalanced hanger. Jada says that the weight of one circle is greater than the weight of one pentagon. Alright, do we agree with that? Does everybody understand why that is true?
Yes.
And just so, not sure if you understand like a balance, but like this one, this side is heavier because it's down. Does that make sense? Everybody understands that? Just wanted to make sure before we move on. Alright, hurry up.
I'm sorry. I'm done now.
A, it says write an inequality to represent her statement. Let P be the weight of one pentagon and C be the weight of one circle. Alright, so what would it look like? Excuse me. So P is the pentagon, C is the circle. What would it look like? Camden?
P less than C.
So P is less than C. Perfect. The next one says a circle weighs 12 ounces. So this is going to be important, right? So go ahead, underline it or highlight it or whatever. It says use the information to write another inequality to represent the relationship of the weights. Then describe what this inequality means in the context. All right, so now, do we have a value for one of our variables? All right, so we found out that C equals what? 12. So then what do we need to do if we're using this inequality? What do we need to do with C now? What do we need to do with it? Do we know the value of C? All right, so then what do we do with C? Elisa, what do we do with it? Yeah, so this simply becomes P is less than 12. All right, and then we're going to describe this inequality. So this means what? That the pentagon what? The pentagon what? Christiana?
The pentagon weighs less than 12 ounces.
Perfect. So that's what you're going to write. The pentagon. Oops. Bless you. Weighs less than 12 ounces. Alright, when you're done, flip your paper over. Alright, number 2. It says here's another diagram of an unbalanced hanger. So A says write an inequality to represent the relationship of the weights. Let P be the weight of one pentagon and S be the weight of one square. So raise your hand and tell me, what would that inequality look like for the pentagon to the square? I need new hands. What would that pentagon? What would that inequality look like? Zoe. So we could say S is less than P. Could we also write it a different way? What else? What is another way that we could possibly write this? Jonathan. P is greater than S. So whichever one you want to use, you can use. All right. So as a group, you're completing B and C. Put your pencils down, so I know you're listening. B says one pentagon weighs 8 ounces. Use this information to write another inequality to represent the relationship of the weights. Then describe it, just like we did on the front side. And then C says graph the solutions to this inequality on a number line. Okay, you're working with your group members to complete B and C. I'm going to give you 4 minutes. Stand up if you finish before then.
The square.
Pardon the interruption. 6th grade Battle of the Book students, please report to the Media Center for less than 5 minutes. 6th grade Battle of the Book students, please report to the Media Center.
Let's go back to the square. A square is a rectangle. I just go back to
Graphics.
He said rectangle.
Or you could say the whatever is greater than the whatever. But just writing greater than 8 or whatever. Whatever. Alright, make sure you write your description, guys. writing the inequality is one step of the not, vote. Guys, make sure you have that explanation of, like, what your inequality means. And if you're not sure, flip your paper over and look at the front, because we did it on the front. Well, if you're saying that the pentagon is greater than x, right? So then you put your 8 there. So then therefore, it has to be less than 8. If that's what you came up with.
No, I said that.
Well, once you've done B and C, you stand up. Oh. All right. So what does our inequality look like? William?
S is less than 8, or 8 is greater than S.
All right, so either one, good job. All right, so then, depending on whichever one you picked, tell me what it means. Aiden?
The square weighs less than 8 ounces. Yay.
All right, and then our graph obviously depends on which one we picked. But regardless, 8 goes in the middle. All right, so how many of you guys picked the first one? S is less than 8. Okay, so with this one, open circle. Is it open circle? Okay, so open circle. And if I'm graphing S is less than 8, which direction is my arrow going? What is it, straight?
Left.
Left? All right, so
Well, if
can
you
I-
face this way, it's that way.
well, I mean, technically, you're facing me, so you're pointing at me. All right, if you pick this one, open circle? Is it still an open circle?
Yes.
Okay, and which direction is it going?
Right.
Going,
Left. Left.
so if you pick 8 is greater than S, which direction is it going?
Left.
Still going to the left.
Yeah.
Still going to the left.
We said the 8 is bigger than S. So,
All right? So why, Leo, say it again?
It depends on where the substitute is.
Right. So it does, but it doesn't, right? Because ultimately our arrow is still going which direction?
No.
It's still less than. That number has to be less than 8, right? All right. Number 3 says, based on your work so far, can you tell the relationship between the weight of a square and the weight of a circle? If so, write an inequality to represent that relationship. If not, explain your reasoning. So, do we know the weight of the square?
Yes. Wait, no. No.
No. It's not probably. Do we know the weight of the square?
No.
All right. Do we know the weight of a circle?
Yes.
Yes, we do. How much does the circle weigh?
12.
How much does the circle weigh?
12 ounces.
Okay, so the circle equals 12 ounces. The square equals an unknown. So, can we answer this? Can we write an inequality?
Yes. I think.
Oh, we can, but it would have a variable.
That's okay.
Yeah, so we can.
Okay, so then what would our inequality look like for this one? Since we know the weight of a circle, but we don't know the weight of the square. Noah? 12 is greater than S? So you could do 12 is greater than S, or S is less than 12. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, last two. It says this is another diagram of an unbalanced hanger. Andrew writes the following inequality. C plus B is less than S. Do you agree with his inequality? Explain your reasoning. And then number 5 says, Jada looks at another diagram of an unbalanced hanger and writes S plus C is greater than 2T, where T represents the weight of one triangle. Draw a sketch of the diagram. So you're gonna draw a sketch of the hanger. So whether you put the hanger this way or you put the hanger this way, doesn't matter. Okay, so you're doing 4 and 5 together. I'm gonna give you 6 minutes for this. Stand up when you're finished. You can join a group if you want.
Because you know the weight is dependent on the weight more than a square. Boom.
That's it, that's what you're trying to do.
No,
Exactly, bro. No, cause it's no, because I'm smart.
not that.
No,
No.
on my way.
If he's spaced out. Leave these spaced out. It's all over the place, child. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time.
It doesn't matter, you know. I don't even know why I say this.
You guys finished? You did both of them?
You don't know what S Well, just please move the dream
Oh wait, all we need to do is circle these. We're all gonna do this, we're all gonna do this.
No, it says 2 T, but F represents the weight of one triangle.
Okay,
So we need to, yeah, 2 T says, I got 1 T equals 1 triangle. So there's 2 T, there's 2 triangles. I should be my grade. It's not Who said I should stand on You're like still having the chair. They're not. Technically, Christian, you know how I've never touched anything in our lives. And that means I never hit my child. Oh yeah. Yes. You've never touched anything in my body. You're not standing.
If you're standing, you are quiet. Alright, let's go ahead and go over this. Alright, so what did we get for, if you agreed? Stand up if you agreed with Andre's inequality, C plus B is less than S. Nobody? Why? Why did none of us agree? Alright, Noah?
I put it is wrong because it said that the pentagon weighs more than the square, which means that the circle also weighs more than the square.
You said, and the circle also weighs more than the square? Great explanation. More than and more than. All right, slide up to number 5. So, with this one, would anybody like to bring their paper up to see it? All right, Ronnie.
So I did.
Why would it be wrong? Just explain what you guys did.
So we did. Oh, since the 2t is less than the circle and square, they would be higher than the s plus c, which is the square plus circle. It would be down because it's pulling, or no, it's going down because it's heavy.
Okay. All right. Did anybody have anything different than that? You guys have something different? Okay, you're good. Thank you. All right, so there, put it under there and show you what you did. I can't see that. Move it up. Move it up. Okay.
It says s plus c equals 2 triangles. It is greater than 2 triangles. So we had to make the slant facing up. Because when you actually think about it, the slant is more important than it looks. Because a square plus a circle, or they're the heaviest shapes. Because the other parts c equals 12. So I made it slant down I made it slant down. Where the square and the circle is heavier. Because it says it's greater.
I heard about half of what you said. I'm assuming you're saying that the circle and the square are heavier than the two triangles. Never ends opposite. Alright, now, are there any questions about today's lesson? So this is taking inequalities and this is putting into more of a real world situation.